Thank you for watching. This is Mature Living. I'm Mary Yanez, the director of the Senior Adult Program at the El Paso Community College. And so we want to introduce you to a couple of ladies that have a wonderful business. It's an assisted living here in the community, and they serve the elderly. And I want to introduce you to Lily Jacquez. Thank you, Lily, for being here with us.
Thank you for having us.
And you are the owner of Casa de Ballamie.
And I'm the administrator also.
And the administrator.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming. And you brought your medical technician, your medical tech,
Yes.
Jane Mesa.
Yes, thank
Nice
you.
to meet you,
Nice to
Jane.
meet you, likewise.
We're going to have a good conversation, but I think the main purpose of our invitation is to educate the community about your services, which is assisted living.
Yes.
Tell me about your facility.
Casa de Ballamie, what we do is that we provide assistance to the senior citizens, not only senior citizens, but also individuals that need some kind of assistance that cannot be left home alone. Either in the mornings, we would assist in bathing them. We assist in changing, dressing them. We assist in giving them their breakfast. And one of the most important things is their medication.
Yes, yes.
And of course, their diet. We follow their diet.
Yes.
And all this information we get directly from their doctors because we get their doctor's orders. And that's what our med tech does. She prepares the list for the residents to make sure the medication that have to be taken either daily, twice a day. And then we just take it from there and provide an environment home for them.
That's wonderful. One of the things that I think is special about you is that you're licensed. You're a licensed facility by the state.
Yes. There's other options that people have. There's what they call foster homes. They're not licensed or regulated by the state. But with us, we are licensed by the state. Any and all government agencies that have an issue with senior citizens with their rights, we fall under those guidelines.
That's wonderful. And I know we'll continue talking about that. And I wanted to ask Jane, you're one of the staff members. How many staff members work there with you?
We have 10, around 10
people?
staff members.
Very good. And you're on shifts, I would imagine.
Yes, we have 3 shifts.
And Jane, tell me what you do. What is your main duties there as a medical tech?
I'm the medical tech, the evening medical tech. So my duties are to prepare the medications, make sure that they're given on time, and also knowing what I'm giving them because the residents sometimes they have questions. So they feel more comfortable knowing what they're taking, what this pill is for, what that's for. And also I take care of their vital signs. I check their vital signs, make sure they're feeling good, and documentation as well.
Wow.
Keeping on track of their refills.
Yeah. So there's got to be some recording of how they're being taken care of.
Of course.
And do you also have in your as part of your staff, your peers, do you have an activities person there?
Yes,
as well?
of course. We have somebody that takes care of that. Usually she comes during the day because they're more active during the day.
Yes.
So they have activities, they do crafts.
That's wonderful. What's special about Casa de Ballamie? That beautiful name, you know.
Yes.
There's a little story about
Yes.
that name.
Well, we named our facility to honor our daughter who passed away. But my daughter had a heart for the young children. And not only that, she had a heart for the senior citizens. And since we took care of an elderly lady at home, she came so attached to her. I mean, she was just so loving with her. And we felt that was an appropriate name for us to put, on our facility.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
And
yes.
and what's special about your facility? And can people come to a tour so that you can show them? And how many seniors are you taking care of right now?
Our license right now is for 16, but we know that our license we can still add more.
Okay.
But we have not applied. We felt that 16 would be very good. We strongly encourage anybody who's interested, either the family or the resident itself, to first come and visit. It is a home environment. It's one of the old homes from the Navarre. We have beautiful wooden floors. We have large bathrooms, a large kitchen, and we have not had to do anything but just do the painting and replacing everything. But it's a home environment.
It's wonderful.
And I think that's key. The home environment is very much a key for them.
Instead of looking like a hotel.
Yes, or a hospital.
Or a hospital. Absolutely.
Yes.
And so I know you were telling me earlier you had fantastic staff, but we don't want to say anything in front of Jane,
Yes,
but and all the 10 people that work with you.
That's key for us. staff that are compassionate, that are patient, that understand senior citizens, and it's the patience, right? You know that we need to have, because sometimes they'll ask you for the same thing over and over, and we just respond. You know, just patiently respond to them.
Yes.
And I think that's been key for us. Is my staff that's been very good.
Yeah, anything you want to add, Jane, about
Everything she said, be
how
patient.
special it is working with Casa de Ballamie? And we're going to give in a little while. We're going to give the address, and right now we're
Yes,
keeping
yes.
everybody in suspense. You know, where is this place? I
Yes.
want my mom or my dad, my grandma, my grandpa, or my tia, my
Sí.
tío to be there.
Right. Well, I think that at Casa de Ballamie we have a very strong team. We all work together.
Yes.
We all help each other out, and it's about being, like she said, showing them patience, love, and understanding.
Yes,
A
absolutely.
lot of understanding, and making them feel at home overall, because that
Now,
is their home.
That is their home.
Yes, that is their home.
Many times they'll come for a day or two after a hospital, and what happens? They
Yes.
decide
To stay.
To stay.
they decide to
Yes,
stay. They don't want to go home.
Yes, yes.
So
No,
tell
that-
us where Casa de Ballamie is.
Okay, we're located at North Loop, almost at the corner of North Loop and Hawkins.
Okay.
And it's one of the first homes, large homes standing there. And we have a sign out there, so we have a lot of parking space.
Yes.
And we have a outside yard garden that they like to go in the summer. But inside we have two recreation rooms that we call. One is bigger than the other one, so we have 2-room areas. We have some that prefer the smaller room, and then we have some that prefer the larger room because it's bigger. But it's very homey for us. Yes.
And where can they call you, or how do they get in touch with you?
Well, with Casa de Ballamie, we do have a website. It's Casa de Ballamie, all one letter, .com. And in that website, it does show our address, but we are at 7235 North Loop.
And your phone number.
And our phone number is area code 915-775-1965.
And I guess this is a good time to do your invitation so that people will know about Casa de Ballamie. I see you at health fairs, and I see you at the Love Conference as an example,
Yes.
where we had like 400 or 500 seniors
Yes.
attend just this past weekend. So, you know, it's really important.
And I think everybody should, wherever they want to go, there's nothing like going into the place, going and visit, see what you see. And that's the key issue for them.
Yes.
You know.
And ask questions.
And ask questions, yes. We're there to
Absolutely.
answer all of their questions.
That's wonderful. Thank you for being with us. I appreciate you taking time from your busy work and your residence to be here on Mature
No,
Living.
thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for having
so
us.
much.
And we'll be back with more Mature Living guests. Thank you for staying with us. Of course, we bring you a lot of information, and we know that many grandparents are raising grandchildren these days for many reasons. There are parents that are trying to find the best ways to teach their students, their children, their family members, and so we've invited a couple of ladies who are certified parent educators with the United Way of El Paso, of the County of El Paso. Andrea Aguirre, thank you for being with us, and you've brought Jocelyn Bryant with you, and you have an exciting program and lots to share about this 3-year-old program that has come to El Paso. Tell us about it.
Yes, well, it started in St. Louis, Missouri, and it started back in the 70s, and they've started to bring it, and it's starting to be a global movement. They brought it in through United Way of El Paso County, and we are able to come into the home and do a home visit for families, and we do an activity with the family. We talk about development for the child, and then we also talk about family well-being as part of the program. And so that helps the parents with tips and knowledge on how to best raise their child or grandparents, because there are a lot of grandparents that are raising their children for whatever reason.
And sometimes it's part-time because they pick them up from school, and so they wait until their parents are out of work, and so they have 2 or 3 hours with them. What do you do with a kid? And of course, you want to continue their education at home.
Right.
Tell us about how you and how you're involved with the program.
I'm also a parent educator. I've been in the program for a while. A little interesting story. She actually used to be one of my parents, so I wanted to share that. And now she's become a parent educator.
That's
so I can use her as an
wonderful.
example. I would go into her home, ask how she was doing. That's part of family well-being. Ask her things like, you know, are your bills being taken care of? Is everything all right as far as your stress level? That's family well-being. And then we jump into something like, well, what's health and nutrition? You know, what's going on? Or how are you feeding the kids? That's the development.
Why is it? Why are they so chubby?
Right. What, are you giving them cookies or rewards? You know, things like that. And then the parent-child interaction, we jump into an activity. Normally, we have on jeans and T-shirts, and we get on the floor with the parents, and we teach them how to play with their kids and what the benefits are in playing with those children.
Yeah. And the core values of this program are what? The core values, is it children first, safety, education, learning, and you brought some props as well.
So some of the core values that we have here are, well, we want to focus on optimal development. And so we want to focus on that for the child, first of all. And so we are, like she said, we're asking these questions. We are bringing in information for the parents to be able to read through. And then we have some things like this. I mean, it's very simple.
Yes.
Small babies can't grab balls yet, but they need that eye-hand coordination. And this is something very easy to make at the home, and we show you how to make it and why it is so important for eye-hand coordination, for motor skills. We can say, you know, give us a yellow one, or if we have multiple colors, that's language development. So we're talking about all these things with something so simple. Right.
Yes.
And
Right.
so we have these little, you know, things.
And parental engagement, because you can teach the parents, and we can use Andrea and I.
And you
get
can
them to
throw
throw
it,
it back
and
and
they
forth
won't
to
bump
mommy and
their
the kid.
head.
Right.
They would have a big
So it's safe, yeah. So it's a very well thought out program.
Wow. And you mentioned evidence-based earlier. That's so important these days, that it isn't just things to do.
Right.
No.
It's got results.
It does.
Right.
It's got proven results. There's plenty of researchers, and the research has always been come around that children are learning when they're playing, and that is the biggest thing. You play to learn, or you're learning to play, and so you're able to do that with simple household items, and it's so important.
And I noticed the role play. Here you go. You have a chef, and you have a fireman,
The many hats.
a
that we play.
firefighter.
Right. That's for pretend play, and that's also building those communication skills, getting them to start to imagine things. There's so many things you could do.
Social emotional skills, because you're pretending to see what you see out in the world, and it's so important.
And books are really important. I noticed you brought some books and some examples of some of the books. Tell us about that.
So Miss Jocelyn here, when she would come into our house, now she's known as the book lady, because she would always bring us the best books, and we get to have that joy in bringing that every visit
Can you
that we
hold
have.
a couple of those up, Jocelyn? 10 Little Kisses.
10 Little Kisses. Yeah, these are really
exciting.
fantastic.
Books.
Books in
Jose-
Spanish, books in
Jose,
color.
Jose
El Chévere, Helado y Dinosaurios.
All right.
Penguins Love Colors by Sarah Aspinall, and 10 Little Kisses.
So you bring those into the home and
Every visit.
Every visit.
reading is so important.
Literacy, yes.
Yes, it's
Yes.
so important that, you know, that's how you survive in life.
Yes.
Is reading, writing, maybe not so much math. Not everybody's going to be a mathematician, but definitely to count money.
Right?
To know you got
And
the
those
right
fun word
change.
problems, so you don't need. For one of our activities, we actually have like a sock puppet that you can make, and we use that to teach the parents how to read to their children. Because a lot of times we'll get the parents that say, I can't keep them still, they don't want to pay attention, and so we open the pages and everything and show them how to go from one side to the other, how to talk about the colors on the page. Oh, let's count the little penguins. We show them the big, big world of actual storytelling.
Yes.
So we'd love it.
We've got a couple minutes left in this interview, but in this conversation, because I love doing this and bringing it to our audiences. One of the things that I worry about is that the little kids in the crib are already doing this with the cell phones,
Right.
or they're like this. And you know what? We need to kind of work on that, huh? They need to talk and converse and laugh and read, and it's so important.
Yeah, the fundamental part of this is play is learning. So how can you play with blocks. And so there's a lot of parents that do struggle to get on the level of the child, and that's the first thing that we do. We have to get on their level, play with them, let them lead, let them show us what they want to play, and we follow them. You know, that's
And not
child-led
just hand them a
activities.
cell phone.
Right.
No. And if we go into the homes and we're realizing like that's what's happening, oh my goodness, look what's going on. We talk to them about that. Let's track the time on how long you're going to let them play with that, and what's the content of what they're playing on it. Make sure they're not just sliding through certain things. It needs to be something educational, and the parent needs to be engaged with them while they're on it.
And they're learning the ABCs and singing the ABCs.
Yes.
There are programs that are very educational that they can learn.
There are some fantastic programs, but there's also really easy programs that we don't know. I mean, you can just play with stuff that you have in your home, like you said, pots and pans and spoons
Wooden
and
spoons.
Play-Doh with your own, tools that you have at your house. And there's tons of things that you can do there, and it's already there. You don't have to play. And your children really just want your time and your attention.
And the only thing we haven't given right now as far as information is your phone number, how to get a hold of you. If you want to enroll in this program, can you give us that information?
Super simple. So this is one of our brochures that we always pass out. We have this in English and in Spanish. I actually gave one out the other day in a park, and they called because the phone number is right on the back.
Very good.
915-206-2131, and that's the actual PAT hotline. To just call and say, hey, I'm interested in this program. Tell me about it. I want to join. Free and just that simple.
Yes.
Very simple.
And you have English and Spanish
We do.
flyers and brochures
We
and
do.
things like that.
And we have English and Spanish speaking parent educators. So if someone were to call in and say, well, my family prefers Spanish, not a problem. We'll send someone in, like Miss Andrea. You can go in and speak all the Spanish you want.
Yeah.
It's not
That's wonderful. Thank you for coming and
Thank you for
and
having us.
educating us,
Thank you.
grandparents.
Thank you.
And sharing this information. So important to educate our children.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you all in a little bit. We have more guests. Thank you for staying with us. This is our last interview for today. And you're going to learn a lot about La Casa de las Abuelitas. And this is a homeless shelter for women, senior adult women. And so we've invited Sister Maggie Flores, who is the program coordinator of La Casa de las Abuelitas, and then also Araceli Lazcano. You are the media and marketing coordinator, right?
Yes, for the
Araceli?
Opportunity Center for the Homeless.
Very good. Thank you for joining us and teaching us about what's available as far as services for the elderly here in this community. And I had visited this home many years ago, but tell me about what you do for seniors and how people come to the house, Sister.
Yes, when the persons come to the emergency shelter, the women, we choose the ones that are more frail and vulnerable, and they have to be 55 years and over.
Okay.
So we suggest they go to the Casa de las Abuelitas.
Yes.
The Casa de las Abuelitas we try to make it a home for them. We try to give them everything that they need in our circumstances,
Yes.
what we can offer to them.
Yes.
But most of all, for them to have a place to live and to
Yes.
dignify their life better.
Yes, it is, and it's so important. Is this a permanent home or temporary? How does that work?
They can stay there as long as they want to. We just don't want them out in the streets.
That's right.
And we do what we can for them,
When we see someone in the streets or we think they're homeless, do you get referrals from people to drop them off there or at the other shelter, the Opportunity Shelter, Araceli? How does that work? How do you get the referrals? And
Yes, many of the elderly ladies, get to the shelter, and some of them have been even brought by the police. And
yes.
it's a very difficult situation for them being elder and homeless. But
Absolutely.
hopefully we have this program, and people refer them to us too.
Absolutely.
So they get to the emergency shelter, as Sister was saying, and then from them, if they're 55 and older, they get transferred if they choose to the Casa de las Abuelitas.
Very good. And what's the capacity there as far as beds?
Well, we have 17 women there.
Uh-huh.
They have double beds, like little sections with 2 beds in each section.
Uh-huh.
And there are 17 women. And we have another building that's connected to Casa de las Abuelitas. When we see that these women have everything they need and that they qualify for certain things,
Services.
and then we some of them are passed or they go on to the other building, which has a single room,
Okay.
and they're more independent.
And they're more independent. And does this, some of the success stories, have you seen some abuelitas go from the homeless shelter, Casa de las Abuelitas, onto the community where somebody they takes them in and takes care of them, or maybe even finds a job? You know, you never know, what happens in their lives. Are there any success stories that you've seen?
There are success stories. Yes, we even have some of the staff members were homeless themselves.
Wow.
So they have become part of Opportunity Center. So it makes a difference for their lives.
You're always looking to provide them with an opportunity for a better life and their well-being. And what are some of the needs that you have in the center? Volunteers, I'm sure, is one of them. Cooks or food, or what is it that we can help you with, sister?
Yes, well, we need, donations. They bring us food. They bring us, if the other day we needed a dining room set, somebody donated one. Different needs.
Yes.
Now we have a program that you can, how do you call it, adopt a night for them.
Like maybe Thanksgiving, inviting them for Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas
Or
dinner.
making them a party. The other day we had a group that came in and did a bingo for them.
Of course, activities.
For Christmas, we've had people that have come in to just make them a Christmas party. We have a lot of needs, especially the food. We don't have no resources. So it's just what the donations and some corporations donate to us.
Very good.
And they are very appreciative of everything. You got to remember these ladies work all their lives, raise their children. And the reason why it's called La Casa de las Abuelitas is because they all have grandchildren. And they are in a situation that is very sometimes hectic and stressful. It's not easy
And embarrassing sometimes that they're homeless, what are some of the activities? And we were talking about fundraising a little bit ago. Tell me about your fundraising event this summer.
I wanted to elaborate a little bit about the Adopt a Night program.
Yes.
Because we're so excited and we have a great community response, and we want to invite the community to Adopt a Night. For $285, you can adopt a night at La Casa de las Abuelitas, and that will provide everything from three meals a day, and just the lodging. So, and we can honor the person that is donating to us, or it can be done in honor of somebody to celebrate a birthday, or just a holiday of their preference. Okay. And we've been pretty successful about that. We also have the biggest fundraiser of the year coming in August, and it's a 5K run, and it's called Home Run for the Homeless. And we already have a date for that. It is going to be on August the 12th. And it starts at the ballpark, downtown El Paso, and then it's a flat course, and it passes through a few of the shelters from the Opportunity Center for the Homeless, and they end up inside the ballpark.
And that's where it ends.
Yeah.
And then you have something special for the first, 300
runners? Yes, they cross the finish line, and the first 300 that register, they're gonna get a free ticket for the Chihuahuas
game that night.
And it's a fireworks night. And
fireworks, all right.
And it's gonna be fun.
Okay, and of course there's a fee for the run.
Yes.
In order to register and all that, you can have teams or organizations to, and that $285 a night supports a person.
The 17 ladies, and if you don't have the $285 to spend, you can make a monthly commitment of $24
A month.
and a month, and you know, you can choose the day you want to adopt.
To sponsor.
Mhm.
Any last message and a phone number that we can give, sister? Any last thing that you've got on your mind that you want to tell our viewers?
Yes, I just I've been only there for 5 months, and it's been so good for me. I love them very much, and it's that feeling of this compassion that I feel for them because of their suffering.
Yes.
And yeah, whoever can help, you know, just to help us. They're very frail, and they don't have anybody.
Okay.
There are people that some of them have been rejected from society and even from their families.
Yes.
So we just want to make a home for them. A home.
We
in
are
our-
their hope.
Yeah, a home in our hearts first, you know,
Very good.
and then whatever we can give them and offer them while they're with us, it'd be fine.
And the phone number?
The phone number is 915-577-0069.
0669 or
0069.
0069.
And La Casa de las Abuelitas also has a Facebook page, and it's La Casa de las Abuelitas, right?
Yes, Casa de las Abuelitas.
Very good. Well, thank you for being with us. I appreciate this wonderful information. We're going to help. I guarantee you that you're going to get some calls.
Monique Swope, a native of France and a former French instructor, started creative writing several years ago. Monique tells us that working with poetry lets her go deeper into human feelings and experiences.
The Old Man. Gray rainy morning, sleek shiny street, dark shadow hurry to their destiny. An old man, unsure gait, takes him today and every day into a back-breaking toil. He does not need much, a pint or two on Fridays. It eases the pain. He never falters, never stops, day in, day out. His only hope is son's achievement. His son will become what he could not be. The boy will be somebody. They will call him Mr. Mr. this, Mr. that. Deferential, respectful tones. They will tip their hat to his son. The oil feeding his lamp lowers a little every day until its light weakens and dies. Darkness descends. The old man, free of pain, quietly fades away. At the old man's grave, his son mourns the father he loves. Why did he not show how much he cared? He could have shared a pint or a walk with the old man, or just say, "Father, I love you, Father." Too busy.